Cancer feels like a modern disease, something that came with cigarettes and pollution and stress. But what if it existed long before any of that? Long before humans even had a word for it? Picture yourself 50,000 years ago running across open savanna. No hospital within 10,000 years of your location. Your body was running every biological system that yours runs today. Every single one. Same cells dividing inside you right now were dividing inside them. And cell division is exactly where cancer begins. Every time a cell divides, there's a tiny chance of a copying error. Your body has been making that gamble since the day you were born. Ancient humans had the same cells running the same gamble. Which means the question was never whether cancer existed. The real question is whether we can find the evidence. And that is one of the hardest problems in all of archaeology. Most cancers leave no trace on bone at all. Soft tissue cancers, lung, liver, stomach, dissolve with the body and vanish completely. The only cancers that leave evidence are the ones that reach the bone itself. And bone is the only thing that survives thousands of years underground. So archaeologists looking for ancient cancer are essentially looking for damage on bone surfaces. Damage that could have been left by a tumor growing into or through the bone. The problem is that other things leave almost identical marks. Infection, injury, fungal disease, all of them look similar to cancer on ancient bone. For most of archaeology's history, the tools to tell the difference simply did not exist. Researchers were making educated guesses and calling it science. Then CT scanning changed everything. Suddenly, scientists could look inside ancient bones without touching them, and what CT scanning revealed inside ancient bones started to answer a question that had been open for a very long time. The answer was not what most people expected. The scans were finding things inside ancient bones that should not have been there, things that looked unmistakably like what cancer leaves behind. In 2016, researchers examining a 1.7 million-year-old hominin foot bone found something inside it, a dense, irregular mass growing from within the bone tissue itself. The researchers at the South African Center for Bone Research called it osteosarcoma, one of the most aggressive bone cancers known to modern medicine. That same year, researchers found something else, a 2.04 million-year-old Australopithecus sediba vertebra with multiple lesions covering its surface. The pattern of the lesions matched one specific diagnosis: metastatic cancer, cancer that had spread from somewhere else in the body. These were not outliers. The more researchers looked, the more they found. Egyptian mummies dating back 3,000 years show evidence of bone tumors, some so advanced the person must have been living with significant pain for years. In 1932, a researcher named Louis Leakey found a jaw fragment in Kenya. It had a tumor growing across the bone surface, unlike anything caused by infection or injury. Every time researchers found another ancient cancer case, the same question got louder. If ancient humans got cancer, how often did they get it compared to us? The numbers we have today are staggering. 1 in 2 men and 1 in 3 women in the modern world will develop cancer in their lifetime. These are numbers that would have been unrecognizable to ancient humans. Something was different in their world. And researchers spent decades trying to find out what, to understand the difference you have, to understand what an ancient human's day actually looked like. Not what you imagine. Something far more physically demanding than anything most modern humans experience. They walked between 10 and 20 kilometers every single day. Their muscles were in constant use from the moment they woke until the moment they slept. There was no processed food, no refined sugar, no food that came from a factory. Every calorie they consumed came directly from the world around them. Yes, ancient humans got cancer, but they got it at rates so much lower than ours that researchers describe the difference as almost incomprehensible. The first reason is the one most people expect. They lived shorter lives, and cancer takes time to develop. But here's what surprises most people. Shorter lifespan is not the main reason. There's something far more significant hiding underneath that answer. The second reason is the one researchers keep coming back to. The ancient body was almost never sedentary. Physical activity changes how your cells behave at a molecular level. It changes how your immune system hunts down abnormal cells before they become tumors. The third reason lives in what they ate. And more importantly, in what they never ate. Refined sugar in particular feeds cancer cells in ways that researchers are still mapping. Ancient humans consumed almost none. The fourth reason is perhaps the most invisible one. Chronic stress, the kind that runs constantly in the background for years, was simply not part of ancient life in the same way. Chronic stress suppresses the immune system over time, and a suppressed immune system is exactly what cancer needs to grow undetected. Here is what all of this actually means for you. Cancer is not a modern invention, but the modern world made it dramatically worse. The biology was always capable of cancer. The modern environment just gave it every condition it needed to thrive. When you move every day, you're doing something your immune system was literally designed for. Something it cannot do properly without. Every hour of sitting is not just unproductive. It is your immune system getting slightly worse at the job it was built to do. This is not speculation. It is one of the most replicated findings in cancer research. Physical activity measurably reduces cancer risk across multiple cancer types. Ancient humans did not know any of this. They moved because movement was survival, not because someone told them exercise was good for them. The protection was a side effect of survival, not a choice. And that is the part of the story that is hardest to hear. But here is something that almost no one talks about. Even in ancient populations with low cancer rates, cancer still killed people. They experienced tumors as mysterious swellings, unexplained pain, a body that simply stopped working. With no explanation, no treatment, no understanding of why, some researchers believe many ancient cancer deaths were recorded as simply unknown illness, which means the true rates may be slightly higher than the bone evidence suggests. The bones that survive are the ones that carry the story. And every year, more stories surface from the ground. Cancer is not a modern disease. It is an ancient condition that the modern world amplified beyond anything evolution prepared you for. The ancient bones knew this long before we did.